Right now, let's turn our attention to the police and some mind-blowing statements from not just the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, but also the Metropolitan Police Chief over the weekend. Peter Bleksley is a former Metropolitan Police detective, and he joins us right now. Good morning to you, Peter.
Good morning.
Good morning. These two statements, I mean, genuinely, absolutely, the sort of crazy stuff you and I have been talking about for years. We have the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, in an interview saying that the police needed to investigate all thefts, including shoplifting. Mind-blowing. And also we had the Metropolitan Police Chief, Mark Rowley, saying that police need to stop showing support while on duty in their uniform for woke causes like rainbow flags and green issues and taking the knee for Black Lives Matter. I mean, these things are so blindingly obvious to, I would say, any established copper and to the members of the public. Is it amazing to you, as it is to me, that anyone has to say this stuff out loud?
Well, sadly, in 2023, because of the nonsense of Rowley's predecessors and many other senior police officers, the very basics of policing have to be made clear to their officers. The College of Policing yesterday published new investigation guidelines, which quite simply could be understood by an 8-year-old. And the police have to have these issued to them so they know how to investigate basic crimes. I'm pleased they're doing it, but it's sad that it's got to this state.
I mean, and it is very sad that it's got to this state, and it is a ridiculous scenario for a Conservative Home Secretary after 13 plus years of Conservative rule to be saying, oh, we think we should investigate thefts. The high street shops in my local area, the managers, the staff there have been tearing their hair out. The daily sort of imposition of shoplifters, some organised gangs, some just regular local beggars or just coming in, grabbing stuff. There's nothing they can do about it. They'll be done for assault, they say, if they try and stop them. The police won't come. If they do come, they won't investigate. They literally walk the person outside and then let them go. And we have effectively decriminalised theft in this country, haven't we? Given it's, what, a 3% rates of actually anyone getting charged?
Absolutely. Not only the scandal of shoplifting and the assaults on shop staff, but also theft of mobile phones, theft of pedal bikes, domestic burglary, theft of vehicles, largely decriminalised because the police turned their back on it in the last 10 to 20 years, and they insultingly called those crimes low level. Yes. What a deeply insulting expression that is.
I mean, if someone has their bag, their purse, their bike, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of goods that they will have worked hard to be able to buy, and someone taking it off you. If you're in the police and you call that a low-level crime, I don't think you've got any business being in the police.
No, you've completely lost contact with the moderate mainstream of the great British nation. But they're now pledging to investigate all of these. But the very early noises coming out of policing are, we simply don't have the number of officers to be able to do that. So I suggest respectfully that we reconvene in 6 months' time or maybe a year and see how they're getting on with this.
Oh, deep sighs, Peter, deep sighs. Well, one thing else I'm sure the police will end up getting involved in is trying to find migrants, channel migrants, the boat migrants. They've been, we're told, face electronic tagging, although some already do have that, so they can be kept track of, according to the Home Secretary. We've already seen footage going out online of Afghan migrants just happily, just with a normal pair of scissors, cutting off these tags, not able to can't keep track of them. Is that the solution?
It is the fundamental duty of any government to keep its citizens and its nation safe. That is not happening because we are having enormous numbers of people rocking up onto the shores of Great Britain who the Border Force and the police quite simply do not know who they are. And they are not keeping track on them. And if anybody thinks, oh, there he goes, he's scandalising again, go onto the internet and simply search Albanians convicted, and you will see article after article after article of Albanian nationals who've come to the UK and been convicted of serious crime. Your Honour, I rest my
Yeah,
case.
oh no, in terms of the population in this country, they are massively overrepresented in our jails. There's no doubt at all about that. Just finally, I want to ask about the Notting Hill Carnival. Pastor this weekend, we told us this wonderful celebration of, a cultural celebration. And like 8 people stabbed, 1 man in critical condition in hospital still, 275 arrests over the 2 days. Now, bearing in mind, we're looking at, 1 million people on the streets for 2 days, a lot of alcohol present, an awful lot of police present. Are those the sort of numbers you'd expect in terms of arrests and stabbings for that many people? Do we just accept that that's the norm now?
Unfortunately, yes, we do have to accept that level of criminality. This always comes with the Notting Hill Carnival. I appreciate a man is critically ill. A man was stabbed to death at the carnival last year. Yep. What I would also say is just be aware, because they have what they call the footprint of the carnival. And this is a designated area of West London where crime is measured by anything that happens within that footprint.
Right.
If there's another stabbing 6 inches outside of that footprint, they won't align it to
that's interesting. Peter Bleksley, we'll have to leave it there, former Met Police detective.